Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Feed the Beast Lite Pack 3. We're on episode 11. Big 11. I said last episode we were going to look at the quarry and see if we could run a Speed 2 upgrade. Probably not going to do that. I might do that later in the episode, but what I wanted to work on is farms. I really kind of miss the older stuff. It seems like there's like really no movement anymore. The the old days of buildcraft pipes, items shooting all over the place, that kind of stuff's gone. Feeling nostalgic for that sort of thing. So I want to do a farm and I want it kind of automated in a different way. So what I did is I've kind of flattened out an area right here, built the barn. This is going to be our storage, and any automation that we do will of course be in the barn area here. We have a couple floors we can mess with and put stuff in. It's very early on. I've just built the barn and I'm starting to put in the first farm. I'll probably have at least 2 or 3 of these to start with, so I'm just putting in the very first one. So we have kind of take a look at how I'm going to do this. Now, my plans is I'm going to have these farms, and these are, of course, the easiest way to automate these, of course, is with pipes. So what we have is we have our we have a power. What do they call them? Power transmitters. Here, what are these called? Transfer node. Power transfer node. It's got a ender receiver in it. It's receiving power. We're not using our turbo or our nuclear power over there. We're actually just using a little redstone energy cell that's connected to the transfer node, and then we just have a I think this is a 4 solar panel, so it's producing 256, which isn't very much, but it does seem to be enough to handle what we're doing so far. We'll see how that goes when we start adding multiple farms. Right now it's handling it fine. So this has got a transmitter on the inside, and it's set to frequency power. When you make these, you just name it in your anvil. Yeah, I think it's like 5 experience to name one of these things. And then this one is a receiver, and it's also set to power. I have another one over here. I have a third one I haven't named yet over there for the farms. So what we have, the farm will be basically, let me see, it'll be with the upgrades, it'll be from pretty much, what is that? It's not, yeah, 9 by 9 basically. Yeah, 9 by 9, and we're going to probably do one with like the magical crop stuff, maybe another one with just the vanilla potatoes, carrots, that sort of thing. I don't know if I'm going to tear this down or not. I might, and then move everything over to here into the barn. And then the third one will probably be like just a tree farm. But what I want to do is, you can see here we have our planter, and we'll set it up in here, the farms that we want. I don't have the upgrades in here yet. With the 9 by 9, we should only need the 3 upgrade. Let me see. Upgrade. We should only need the iron upgrade. We'll need 2 iron upgrades per farm to do the 9 by 9. So we'll have that in here. And what we'll have done is everything that comes into this will come out. Oh, I got to attach it here. Will come out. And you'll see with these little lines right here, it's actually not connecting to this since these are energy pipes. Energy pipes only deal with energy, so no, we don't have to worry about any items going in there. But down here we have a rationing pipe, and the rationing pipe will just make sure that we only get 64 items of what we want coming in here. Everything else will block off the other node, so it only gets the items that we want, and then from there it'll come out and it'll go over to another chest or some sort of loading area, because what I want to do is I want a rail line going, and unloading all the stuff from the farm and then bringing it over here. And then we'll do something a little different. It'll come over to maybe in this area and unload and then be brought into the storage areas. And I'm probably going to use like conveyor belts and whatnot to do that, to give it a little life, see a little movement when the farm is actually working. So I'm going to put together the farms, get those things running, and then figure out how I want to use the rail stuff, because I really have not used the rail stuff in a long, long time. So that may take me a little bit to figure out. So let me get these farms together and figure out how I'm going to put together the rail stuff, and then we'll be back.
And we're back. I've done some work. I think it might be a little overcomplicated, but what we've done, or we've done, is I've kind of put together a little bit of a redstone thing here. And what this lets us do is, this one over here contains all the stuff from the crops. Now I've got it stopped right now just because, just for testing. But what it'll do is the cart comes over here, and when there's a comparator right here that lets us know that there's items in here. And when it does, it emits a redstone signal, shuts this off, which then doesn't allow the powered rail to get any power. This is basically an inverter. When this is empty, it'll shut the comparator off, which will shut this redstone signal off, which will allow the torch to come on, and it'll power this. It will come around into this repeater, which will power this block here, which will then power the rail. So that's kind of what we have on this end, and we have something similar on the other end also. It just looks a little different because the hopper is under the ground, but the same thing. Comparator comes out, turns off this redstone torch, which then will shut off this powered rail, which will allow the cart to unload its stuff into this yacht chest. It works. It's kind of neat, but it's really, really slow, which shouldn't be a problem once the farms are up and running, and once they're maintained. You know, it's not going to be shooting out too much, because I'm not going to be using the fertile dirt for this particular farm. This is really just more for amusement, really. I mean, we don't need them. Now, one thing I did find out putting this farm together is it is the MFR, or not harvester, planter over here. I can put in the magic crop seeds directly in here, but they will not plant either on tilled dirt or non-tilled dirt. And the pipes will not transfer them, since it won't use it. The pipes won't even pull it out and put it over there. So we're not going to be able to use the MFR stuff for any magic crops. We'll end up having to use progressive automation for those, which is cool. I mean, you know, it's really easier. It's really expensive to do large crops with the progressive automation, because to add in each of the range upgrades gets really expensive. But this is really cool. This would work definitely in a vanilla environment also. None of this is modded. All this is, you know, just vanilla redstone here. Of course, we could probably clean it up with the RedNet stuff, but I really don't know enough about it to do it quickly. You know, I'd have to spend a couple of days taking a class, go down to the community college and take a class on RedNet configuration. If there was a class, I'd probably take that. So I'm probably not going to stick to this. There's another rail that MFR, I think it's MFR, rail called the cargo pickup rail. And this one, as something goes over it, it will put everything in an adjacent chest into the minecart going over it. I believe that's how it works. So I'm going to probably just break this down and then reconfigure this a little bit and try it with the MFR rail. I kind of wanted to do this just because I wanted to see if I could get it to work. I'm really shitty at redstone. If you've ever watched my vanilla series, So I definitely wanted to try to figure it out myself, figure it out a little bit. So, I couldn't really even find anything on, or I couldn't find any tutorials for how to load and unload cargo. So I kind of just figured it out for myself. And, it works. It's not pretty. It would actually, this end wouldn't be too hard to cover up and hide, but the stuff over here, it would be difficult because I don't even know if I can slap covers on this or not. I haven't really tried yet. I'm just, at this point, I was just trying to get it to run and work. So it does work. So if the other rails don't work the way I think they work, then, we can always go back to this. So I'm going to break again, tear this all down. Well, not tear it all down. Reconfigure this over here. We're going to place a cargo pickup rail here, and then a cargo drop-off rail over there. And I think that is just going to be easier and neater. I'm hoping. I don't think it requires any redstone, or I've kind of messed with one of the rails real quick, and really, cat, shut up. There ain't nobody out there. We're going to reconfigure this and then get it all cleaned up with the new rails, and we will be back in just a second. So I went ahead and hooked up the other rails. So here we have a cargo pickup rail from Mine Factory Reloaded, and all of the stuff that we previously kind of harvested is in the chest here. And then on the other end, we have the cargo drop-off rail. Nothing in this chest. And we have our little minecart, chest minecart right here. So we'll turn on that powered rail and we'll send it over there. And it almost got everything. And that's going to, even with it making a second trip, I think it's going to be much, much faster. So yeah, got everything that time. Okay, so yeah, 2 little trips. I think that's a lot easier. It's definitely a lot cleaner than all that redstone. So at least we've got that working. Now we know we can send a minecart out to the different farms, get it to pick up everything, and then bring it all back over to the barn collection area here. So now what I've got to do is kind of work out. I want to use pretty much straight just MFR stuff to now pull the items from here and send them to where they need to go. Now the carrots, potatoes, wheat, sugarcane, there's places for that already in our sorting system. The other farms, of course, I want to do some corn. I will probably remove the tomato farm from over there because the corn and tomatoes you need to make the stews for magic crops, and then of course to get the what's it called, the regen food. What is this? Magical food. You do need well, I guess you don't need like a whole variety. You need one of these. So I guess it doesn't really matter what else we plant. We may just do some of the other ones just for fun, just so we can have them. And those will, of course, all be collected in here somewhere. So we need to be able to pull with MFR from this chest and then placed in, sort it all out, and then send some over there, which of course we'll do with the ender chest, and then the rest needs to be sorted into storage containers of some sort that we'll put in the barn here. So I'm going to try to figure all that out because I've never actually used MFR to do the sorting and the transporting. So I'm going to kind of mess around with that for a little bit, and as soon as I kind of get it figured out, we'll come back.
So I think we got most of the initial work done on the farm. Added in just a couple more. We have the what do we call it, the foundation set right now. So we've pretty much got it set up where we can add additional farms. Of course, we've got some animal stuff that eventually I want to add to this because we are going to need pink slime, so we'll need a whole slaughterhouse setup going eventually. And all of that we can add to this. It's very easy to grow this. Now, Right now the track ends right here and it just goes back the opposite direction. But eventually I think we'll have enough farms out here that it will do a loop kind of thing, and it'll go past all the different farms and then end up back over here, and it'll just start the loop over again. But if we just take a look at what we've done, I've replaced all the dirt here with the fertile dirt. I mean, if we're going to grow stuff, we might as well grow stuff. Plus, it allows me to grow more sugar cane because I don't need that water block. We added 2 of the progressive automation planters, crop planters. Now, the nice thing about this is on the other side over here, there is a transfer node pulling everything out of here. The way these things work is the seeds will go in here automatically first until it reaches a full stack, and then it'll start dropping in here, and then they'll be pulled out. So you don't have to worry about setting this up just to pull the crop out and not get your seeds. You will get the seeds out of those, so that's nice. I wanted to test that. That's actually a change I'm going to make over here, because right now I was just kind of manually pulling out seeds because I didn't know, so I have it just set to pull out the crops. Now right now I'm growing 2 corn just to kind of catch up, because I have a lot more tomatoes, of course, because I was growing a lot of those for a while, just manually, of course. But once I catch up to the amount of tomatoes I have with corn, then one of these will be tomatoes, one will be corn. Then of course we'll have a bunch more out here that will be the different berries and other crops that we have available to us. So what it'll do now is it comes by, and each of these cargo pickup rails pulls the items out of these chests, and then it runs it back over here. And still, so far, we're powering everything just off of this 1 solar panel. If need be, we have 2 more level 3s that we can connect to this. The nice thing about these solar panels, you don't need to wire them together. If I just place another solar panel on either one of the sides, they'll automatically combine their power, which is kind of cool. So it comes over here, and it took me a while to find the right block for this to get. There is a dropper item in MFR, or I guess it's called a dropper. Let's take a look at that real quick. MFR, not T. An ejector. It's just kind of like a dropper, and it does require a redstone pulse to eject items, and I didn't like that. I didn't want to have to set up a timer. Didn't want something like that constantly affecting the tick rate, so I didn't use that. But an item router will work like a chest, which is nice. So what I did is I just set it up that I just put stone in all the other different colors. You can see each side has a color. The top is white, and I guess that's an input. Like, you can just drop things on there and it will come out a side. So I really didn't figure that out until afterwards. I don't know if you could maybe run a rail on top of there and it would automatically put items in there or not. That may be testing I do later. But just for now, I mean, because it's working and I don't want to mess with it too much right now while it is working, is I have it reject unmapped no. That means that if it's not in here, it won't disallow it into the system. So anything that comes in here will basically be shot out this red side, and then it goes up these conveyor belts. Let me fly here, and then goes into the top level of our barn. And if we come around into the top level of the barn, it comes in, turns a corner, and again we use the item router. Looks like I got some extra seeds over here. I don't have those set up to go anywhere yet, but it comes in and goes into the item router, and this particular one is set up for the vanilla crops. It comes in here and it goes into our ender chest, because we have deep storage units set up in the storage area over there for those. This one is set up just for seeds. I pulled the deep storage unit from below the farm there. Eventually I'm going to tear that out. And then this one is for corn. As soon as we catch up here, then we'll start adding, or we'll add the tomatoes in there. And then eventually we'll have some more. Not sure how I'm going to add the other stuff. That's with growth, but I think right now we're pretty well set. One thing I did add is the ability to turn it off. You see right here we have a wireless lever. If you have, this is from Random Things. It's like a lever with a redstone block. And what you do is, let's tear it off here. What you'll do with it is just come over and you'll click the item that you want to connect it to. So like this is our powered rail. See how you get that little line right there? Oh, let's let the, oh, it's not powered right now. Get out of my way. Move. So we like click that and then come over here. And now you can see if it's off, the rail's off. Now it's on. So we can just kind of have a way of stopping the cart if we need to, if we wanted to, without having to run a bunch of wireless redstone. There is a range, I think, of like 10 blocks for this thing, so it's not very, very, very far. But there is the start of our new farm area. I think there's going to be a lot of growth to this. Next couple of episodes probably will be adding on to this. We definitely want to get all the other little crops going. So thankfully I have more than enough bone meal and zombie flesh to do fertile dirt now. And then of course we want to get some animal pens going, growth and that sort of thing. So all that will be around in this area. We do have a magnum torch over here to keep spawns away. Because with this system I'm thinking, that would be really bad if a creeper stepped on here and decided to ride the conveyor belt. But that's going to be it. We got it running. We got it going. It's pretty neat because you got a little movement in here. It's not just static. Like all this stuff over here, with the exception of maybe the turbine blades, nothing really moves. And that's kind of boring. At least here we have some animation, some stuff going on. So that's gonna be the episode, guys. I hope you appreciate it. Don't forget to put a rating on there if you like the episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because that really is the best way to know when I do put out a video. Lets you get a little email alert when I put one out, so you'll be able to get on there and be one of the first people to check it out. So I appreciate y'all coming by, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.